This is You Can Raise Great Kids. Isn't it time to have the relationship you've always wanted with your kids? One where you don't feel so emotionally out of control and where you don't lie awake at night worrying about drugs, alcohol, and more. On this show, you'll learn how to shed your frustration and confusion and instead guide your kids and teens safely through the challenges of growing up with calm compassion instead of conflict. Let's get started and raise great kids.
Episode 4. Hi, welcome back to You Can Raise Great Kids. I'm really excited to share this episode with you today because it is one of the foundational cornerstones of dealing with kids that I've come up with. It's called the ABCD Steps to Calm Parenting in the Heat of the Moment. Now, we all know that when kids start pushing our buttons, we can also fly off the handle, right? How often have you said to yourself after an exchange with your kid, boy, I really shouldn't have said that. I really shouldn't have done that. You know, I've been there too. I look back now and I say, I wish I had known then what I know now. And I'm going to share with you now what I have learned so that you don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again, the ones that I made. So the first thing is you have a child who's freaking out or acting out or just generally not behaving in a way that you feel is helpful or appropriate under the circumstances, right? Maybe they're upset that somebody is taking something, their favorite chair, or maybe it's a teenager who really wanted to go out to a party and you've said no. Whatever the circumstance may be, whatever the age of your child, they are not in control of themselves. So you're the adult, right? You need to be in control of yourself. So how do you do this? Well, the problem is you don't want to react because that is coming from that fear place, the place in your amygdala, that part of your brain that is all focused on survival. It's entirely focused on, do I fight or do I flee? And so that part of your brain automatically cuts out your ability to solve problems, to think clearly, to have a good short-term memory. It does all of those things that you need in order to respond with thought. All right, that's the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is reacting out of emotion and fear, and responding is being intentional and responding with love, all right? So the first step is A. You want to be aware, first of all, about your own attitude and your own feelings and emotions. So is your attitude that your kid is purposely trying to push your buttons? Is your child really making an effort to make your life difficult? If you're thinking this, I'm going to ask you to change your perspective because your child is not doing that on purpose. He or she is acting out of fear, and we'll get more into this in some of our other episodes. But for right now, I'm just going to ask you to check your attitude, okay? Do you believe your child is doing this on purpose? I'm telling you, they aren't really doing it on purpose. They're reacting out of their own fear. So check your attitude. Be aware of how your body is feeling. Are you tense? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling like, oh my gosh, I've got to take control? All right? Are you feeling some fear or anger or frustration yourself? So that's the first step. Then we've got B, which is breathe. So you need to calm your body down. If you are all tense and stressed out, there's no possible way that you're going to be able to intentionally and rationally take control of the situation. So you need to breathe. That means that notice that if you're tense and stressed out, your breathing is short and shallow. What I'm asking you to do now is to take a long, slow breath, okay? And if you need to remove yourself from the situation briefly and tell your child, I will be right back, I need to calm myself down, then go do that. And that is totally fine, actually, because it models for your child that they also need sometimes to remove themselves from a stressful situation in order to calm down. So once you're in a place where you can breathe slowly, do that thing that your grandmother told you to do, which is count to 10 slowly before you say something you're going to regret. And during that counting to 10, take some slow, deep breaths and calm your body down. Once your fear and stress reactions begin to calm down and all those chemicals in your brain start to relax, then your brain, the front part of your brain, the neofrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain where you can respond with intelligence and intention, will kick back in. So that's breathe, all right? Then the next step is C for connect. So you need to get back with your child and look them in the eye. Now, I say look them in the eye, but I recognize that not all children are comfortable with this. If your child is one who is not comfortable with holding eye contact, don't force it. Don't insist that your child look you in the eye. What you do is you offer it and say, and just gently calm your gaze so that you're not tense, okay? Calm your gaze, soften your eyes. Try to smile even just a little teeny tiny bit, no matter how you're feeling, because that will change the chemicals in your body if you are able to smile even just a little tiny bit. And what will happen is your soft gaze, your gentle smile will be mirrored back to you. Maybe not right away, but if you come in all tense and angry, that's what's going to be mirrored back to you. If you want to have that mirrored back to you, a calm demeanor, somebody who's more in control of themselves, which is what you want for your child, of course, right? Then you need to show that to your child first. So you've got the deep breath. You're connecting with your child, hopefully in eye contact. If not, maybe a gentle touch. And with some children, small children especially, if you just open your arms and say, would you like a hug? You look like you're really struggling right now. They'll come running to you. Running. They want that connection with you. And even some teenagers will also be totally open to having that connection with you right then. They may not. And if they don't want it, you can't force it. Don't force it. But offer it. So that's C, connect with your child at whatever level is comfortable for them. Then the D, of course, is discuss. And maybe right in the heat of the moment is not the best time to discuss it. In fact, it usually isn't. So I almost should put this in another session, but really you do need to come back and discuss it later. Once the child has calmed him or herself down because he or she has been able to mirror your own calmness, then you sit down and you say, look, I have noticed that whenever such and such happens, you have a difficulty with it. Maybe it's whenever it's time to start doing homework, you have difficulty. Or whenever your brother or sister walks into the room, you seem to have difficulty. Or whenever you really want to do something and it's not going to fit into our family schedule, you seem to have difficulty. So name the problem and then say, what's up? And wait for your child to tell you what they're really thinking. I know I talk about this a lot. It bears repetition over and over again until it becomes second nature. Ask your child, what's up? And they'll tell you. And then don't judge. Just say, wow, that must be really hard for you. I understand. Okay? Just be empathetic. Say, that must be really hard for you. Or some related empathetic comment. All right? So that's D. That's A, be aware of how you're feeling and what your attitude is. B is breathe. Calm yourself down. Through breathing, you can calm yourself down. C is connect with your child. Find a way that's comfortable for him or her so that you can connect and they feel that they are loved, so loved, no matter how they're acting and behaving right now. And then D is discuss and problem solve a way so that they don't have to overreact when these situations occur again in the future. So that's the ABCD method of calm parenting in the heat of the moment. I hope that you've gotten some value out of that. There's a lot more that we could say about each of these areas, and I will talk about that again in the future. But for right now, these are the steps that you can take, ABCD. Remember how to use these, and I would love it if you would share this video or this podcast with your friends and your family members. Please subscribe to You Can Raise Great Kids. And the other thing is I would really love to know what you're struggling with. If you can write to me, go to my website, youcanraisegreatkids.com, and go to the contact page and write to me there. Tell me what it is you're struggling with, because I want to be able to make these videos and these podcasts really helpful and valuable to you. I want to answer your questions. Go ahead and ask me a question and I will answer them on future podcasts, okay? So You Can Raise Great Kids, and please subscribe and please check out the website. Thank you.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/greatkids. Over 85,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player. Thanks for tuning in to today's show, where you get the best strategies and tips for how to raise great kids with calm compassion instead of with conflict. If you would like a strategy session to figure out how to bridge the gap between where your family is and where you want to go, sign up at youcanraisegreatkids.com/workshop. We'll see you next time.